Hello, everyone. This is Ken Buchanan from Century 21, and welcome to another podcast of all things real estate Bay Area, where really we examine just about anything connected to real estate, especially in Silicon Valley, especially in the Bay Area. I'm happy to have Michael Devlin here. He is a broker, a veteran broker with, again, Realty Solutions is the company.
Real Estate Solutions.
Real Estate Solutions, excuse me.
Right.
And he has a lot of experience, especially in Silicon Valley. And really, we're just going to answer the question, is it a good time to sell? So before we get into that, I read something on Zillow today that mentioned that the housing market in San Jose is quote unquote cool. I'm not sure if people who are trying to find a single family home in San Jose would agree to that. But what is your feeling? I mean, is it a good time to sell now?
Well, yes, it's in Silicon Valley, our market moves a little bit differently. And there's obviously a lot of people in the tech industry that's making a decent amount of money and can afford to pay million to 1.3 to 1.5. And there are more of those people than there are homes for sale.
Right.
And so recently I looked at a 7-day period ending on Monday, and I looked at how many active listings were there this last 7 days versus a year ago, how many went under contract, and how many closed sales. And the number of listings is down and the number of closed sales is down. But what really struck me is the number of pending sales, the ones that were sold in 7 days, was actually up year over year. In other words, for that 1 week snapshot of Santa Clara County, and this included single family condos and townhomes, during that snapshot, that 7-day snapshot, the number of homes selling had actually gone up. So what happens when the number of listings are down, but the number going under contract is going up? You have a shortage of inventory. So what happened when the whole COVID thing affected the market was that sellers, some of them just took the homes off the market waiting for it to get better.
Sure.
Some were thinking, I don't want to wait, because the longer I wait, the more it's true that the market might improve in another month or so, but there will be more other homes for sale than there are right now. Right. And so that's the thing about waiting, is you might say, well, it'll be easier to sell my home, it'll be easier to show it, easier to do open houses once we get through all this, but then there'll be a lot more homes on the market. So we have a situation in Silicon Valley where there's affordability is difficult because there are too many people that want to buy houses, and that's what keeps the price up. So the prices for, I looked at May year over year, right? May year over year, that's right. And what happened is, even though sales were down 57% this May over last year, prices for single family homes had gone up 3 or 4%.
Yeah. So certainly it's not a shortage of buyers out there.
Right. Yeah. There's demand.
Absolutely.
But we don't have enough supply. Right. And so even though the days on market is a little bit longer than it was, because it's sometimes harder to show people, and the months of inventory is a little bit longer than it has been, by virtually any metric, this is a seller's market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also sellers are still getting the price that we're looking for. Again, if you mentioned the sales price to list price ratio, this is still over 100%. People are not really dropping prices.
Right. They either didn't sell or they're sticking to their price.
Okay, good.
And also interest rates right now are still low.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if interest rates go up, right, then that lowers the purchasing power of the typical buyer, which makes it fewer people will be able to qualify for a loan on a given house. And that means less demand, which means softer prices.
Yeah, good. The second part of this is, many people are waiting to sell their home, not just because they're worried about prices, but also they're worried about the COVID-19 virus, about having complete strangers coming into their house. That's the reason that we don't have open houses now. There are no broker tours. What are we doing? What is the real estate community doing to protect homeowners against this potential threat?
The California uh, Occupational Health and Safety has put out guidelines for the real estate industry. And what that would mean is that when people show up to look at the property, they'd be wearing masks. They would,
And that's
there would
mandatory.
be
Mandatory masks.
masks, hand sanitizer would be available,
Right.
and there would be the
Maximum two with one realtor.
right, right, and they're loosening up on that. I listened to a person from the Board of Supervisors today talking about what they're doing in Santa Clara County, and so they're rolling out some, they're making it a little more flexible, but right now that's sort of the rule. Now, when you're showing property, let's say you make sure that all your doors are open,
Mhm.
right, and all your lights are on, and then you leave, and then they come, right, to look at the property, and so they don't have to open stuff, right,
Right.
and that sort of thing. There's hand sanitizers, there's wipes, and then they wear masks, and then afterwards you disinfect the areas they're likely to touch,
Right.
know.
Right.
And
Probably it would be better to have the house vacant, but even for those homes that are for sale that are still owner occupied, I mean, we are doing things to try to minimize the the spread of this virus as much as possible.
And one of the things that's contributing to the minimization is the more heavy reliance on video tours, virtual open houses,
Right.
walkthroughs in the property. And so what we have is you get all the inspections, the reports, the disclosures, all the information about the property. You have virtual tours, drones flying around, neighborhood virtual tours. And so by the time the buyer has looked at all of that,
Right.
they have a pretty good idea, right,
That's
whether or
good.
not they're going to be interested. So you don't have the looky-loos, as they used to be called, the
nosy
people that says,
neighbors
hey, we
and
don't have
that.
anything else to do,
That's right.
let's go look at homes.
Good.
And
So as a
sometimes,
result, sorry to interrupt. I mean,
Yeah.
the total number of visitors to the home is going to be way down. But again, you're still selling the home. The number
Right.
of offers that are coming in is still very, very high. Okay.
Right.
Well, thanks a
There's
lot, Mike.
actually-
This is again a big topic. And again, if anybody's interested, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Ken Buchanan again. I'm from Century 21. Please feel free to reach out to Mike. His contact information is going to be in the post. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being there. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.